Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about North Korean defector Yeonmi Park. Okay, she has an older sister, Eunmi, and Yeonmi was born on October 4th, 1993. She defected from North Korea on March 31st, 2007. She was 13 years old at the time. At the time when she defected, she only weighed 60 pounds. And the reason was because she had an intestinal infection, but the North Korean hospital mistook it for an appendicitis. So she had marks and scars like all over her stomach area. And by and large, Yeonmi Park and her family were some of the more privileged North Koreans. But she still faced things like a failing healthcare system. That's a prime example. Then another example that they faced was growing up in Haesan along the Chinese border. They noticed that the Chinese town on the other side of the border was lit up way more than the North Korean town of Haesan. And Yeonmi Park and her family, they had to deal with power outages. Power outages happened and very frequently, and usually electricity just ran 2 to 3 hours at a time. And a lot of times it was just on a weekly basis, if that. And so, because power and electricity was so rare in North Korea, she notes that when power and electricity came on, a lot of the families clapped, they sang, they danced when power came on. And she also noted when you experience things like that, you learn not to take the little things in life for granted. Like having power, having running water. Because there were issues with the pipes and running water in their home too. And they were of the more privileged class in North Korea, by and large. The book goes into more detail with that, but where a lot of the troubles had started was the mother had lived with her brother for a while. Her mother went to live with her uncle, Yeonmi's uncle, mother's brother. And it is a big no-no in North Korea to not notify the government of your change of address. But a lot of times the government officials will come in and expect a bribe, and then the bribe, once you bribe somebody, it goes away. And Yeonmi's mother was a very strong-willed woman, always a very busy woman, very hard-working woman, so she just simply forgot to notify the government, but when the government officials came, they expected a bribe. That's the kind of stuff you get in North Korea. And one of the reasons they were able to defect from North Korea to China, they spent 2 years in China, is because they were able to, the North Korean smuggler that they used had been able to bribe the border guards to look the other way. Yep. So bribery, by the time she had been born in 1993, bribery was just a way of life in North Korea. Corruption, bribery, smuggling, just a way of life. And she had spent 2 years in China, and while she was not sold into sex slavery, she knew people that were. And the Chinese human trafficker that they used when they got to the Chinese side of the border was a guy named Hong Wei. He was Han Chinese, largest ethnic group in China. He occasionally would sell people to Chinese farmers, sell these North Korean defectors to Chinese farmers, and most of these defectors are women, and the Chinese farmers would treat them like an animal, like one of their animals. And if the female North Korean defector didn't comply with their wishes, all they would have to do was call the police or call the Chinese military. And the Chinese police and military would repatriate the female defector back to North Korea. Which is pretty sick and disgusting. I highly encourage you guys to read her book, In Order to Live. And when she got to South Korea, she became a police administration major. Another way I get to say criminal justice, or police science major. And she resides in Seoul, South Korea. And she speaks out against the Kim regime and against North Korea, because she honestly for a long time believed that Kim Jong-un's father, was born in Mount Paktu in North Korea, and a lot of miracles happened when he was born. But Kim Jong-il was actually born in Russia, where Kim Il-sung was for many years. And a lot of North Koreans did not know that. So she was just raised to believe a lot of propaganda and a lot of lies told by the government. Actually, she first started to learn a little bit of the truth with Kim Il-sung's death from her uncle, who was in China. There's a lot of ethnic Koreans in China, particularly in the Jiangyin province. And her uncle came down from China to North Korea for Kim Il-sung's funeral. And the uncle had said he heard in China that the reason that Kim Il-sung had died from a heart attack was because him and Kim Jong-il were arguing, and Kim Il-sung died from stress because of arguing with his son about policy differences. And that was a big no-no to talk about in North Korea. And her mother got very, very upset with the uncle. Her getting so upset is probably what saved that family from being sent to a concentration camp or being sent or having severe punishment. And the book goes into detail as to why that happened, but as I said, one of the reasons was the mother had forgotten to notify the government a change of address. And there's not open for debate or discussion of that in North Korea. Now, I firmly believe Kim Jong-il killed North Korea's founder, Kim Il-sung. That's a different story. Anyways, I encourage you guys to read the book, and she's very brave for speaking out against this tyrannical fascism that exists in North Korea. You say tyrannical communism, but it's just fascism. It's communism. It's fascism. It's totalitarianism. It's all of that. So anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.